Man, this whole Epstein stuff is really fucking weird, isn't it? Do you know it's the way everybody's reacting?
Mm.
Well, again, can you trust what the papers are saying? But there again, it's not about trust, is it? Man, there must be a lot of orbs.
So,
It's one, I don't get it right. How the fuck do you break the ice on something like that?
mm,
Two, does it feel like it's like not a setup? But I mean, fucking hell. If any of that is true, or and we're assuming worst case scenario, and
mm,
sometimes things are more worse than you first expect, or not that bad.
mm,
Anyway, by and large, it's just very strange. This whole thing
yeah,
is weird.
yeah.
Could you imagine having to be the cleanup crew after that?
Cleanup crew? What is that?
Well, if the stories be true that people are trying to take their lives and stuff over
Yeah.
this stuff, it's weird. What the fuck could there be that is so? You see, it's behavior, yeah.
Yeah.
That is a type of behavior, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. So many people don't want something to be released.
Mm.
Do you ever think that you could control a large percentage of the world with this, depending on how many people are involved and where their stature
Mm.
is in society or their standing?
Yeah, looks like there might be more than just this one, but this one, someone sacrificed Epstein.
Did they? How do you? Well, just assuming.
Well,
Right?
sent to jail, definitely.
Do you ever think that you could, because you got to look at it going forwards, right? If any truth is in any of that shite, that I haven't seen,
Mm.
or just purely based on the reactions, right? It's about going forwards,
Mm.
really. Sure, there'll be a massive shitstorm if they do or don't release it. It all depends on where people stand with that. And again, if some of the stuff is vulgar,
Mm-hmm.
I can only imagine. I know I can't imagine, but again, you can imagine what there might be. If these people have children
Mm.
with that, okay, now, Jesus Christ, I mean, where do they draw the line in that? That's, oof. Anyway, but going forwards, how could you ever prevent that from happening again? Isn't this the lesson that prevents things like that from happening again?
Mm.
Well, you can look at that in two ways. I look at this whole situation in two ways. I'm going to draw. I don't want to, but I'm not going to focus on this one for very long. One thing I don't understand is how the fuck do you break the ice on that?
Who does break it though? How did it get out anyway? Anything, information about anything like existing like that in the newspaper in the first place, or into more population?
You see, this is what makes me think it's a sting. This is a sting.
Hmm?
When you've got a lot of high-ranking officials, you
Yeah.
can bring down anyone that sets forward, but this seems to be surrounded on an island, right? Like everyone came together and broke the fucking ice, or so icebreaker, yes.
So did all the people go to some island, or did he meet them in different places too?
Well, you see, the icebreaker. How do you
Mhm.
break the ice on something like that?
Uh-huh.
First of all, I mean, like, where do you even begin? I can't even imagine it, but I'm sure there must have been some level of conversation. But if someone said it to me, I don't know if I could. I gotta be honest. I don't know how I would take it. Like, someone would be like, "Yo, we're up to do some sketchy shit." You see, every time I try and piece this together, it doesn't work. How the fuck do you even bring that up? Because one, the person bringing it up is exposing themselves, and two, how do you know the other person is into that shit? That's the right. And then you could expose it and then just be like, oh, I'm just kidding. But if you want to, I'm kidding. And then it's like, okay, that seems interesting. To me, it seems more like it's another way. That it's, you hear of some info on somebody, hearsay.
Yeah.
Hearsay. Yeah, it seems like it's more. To me, this feels like it's been drawn out, not a load of people come together and this shit happens, and then that gets people in the firing line. So then, who are the ones that are innocent versus who are the ones who are not?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's got to look believable, hasn't it, in some way for people to. That's interesting.
Could it started like in many cases like innocent something? Oh, look, this person, they have a wonderful island, and they showed some pictures from some residents or whatever. There were nice rooms, so was it like something like that? And then there is something happening as well when you are there, though.
Or matter of fact, just see someone with this. Oh, you all do this here? No, it doesn't work. It falls apart. No, icebreaker. I can't get past the icebreaker. What makes more sense to me is if you do some investigating on people, perhaps hack their devices, perhaps, and it's not enough to know they are or not, or perhaps you saw something that would lead you to suspect. Then it's about bringing all of these to a similar island and then dangling bait in front of them. And because then that weeds out this is where it makes more sense to me, because this feels like a sting operation. And then it's a case of paranoia, who knows which watches people squirm, right? So let's say you've got larger people. I'm going to draw the lines for the people that are in it that have been speculated. And I'm going to leave a few who are not. So we can say that there are some level of innocent people in that. The ones that it was just probably a bad taste or a joke or something that they're not into it. It was just something heard, something la-di-da. But again, in this situation, it makes sense because the power dynamic of the group can hit these people with, if you don't take this job here, you'll never work in the music industry again. Or if you don't take this, and this, you open your mouth and you will be no one. And then again, who are these people and what are their connections to? And there must be a level then of power. And then there's throwing each other under the bus. That is something. If one goes down, we all go down. That's the Ring of Roses. It's not just about a kid's dance to a play. No. This is group dynamic. When you get one, they all get paranoia and fear. And then they then begin to not know who knows what. Which again reminds me of the Krays said a few things, didn't they? The Kray twins. They were all harping on about something along these lines, and then they spent some time in jail. It's interesting. Yes, okay, tragic stories and different things like that. It seemed like a hard life, that. Yeah, this feels like a power grab. Maybe not. Interesting. How do you break the ice on that? See, I can't get past the icebreaker. It feels more like people have been drawn into this. And then when you've got a lot of like-minded individuals come together, I think that's then when the icebreaker makes sense. But it doesn't make sense it's just to be like, oh yeah, I hear you like this, and this. You know what? Come over to here. This person's all about. I just don't get it. That doesn't work. And let's see, another way to break the ice would be if they were. So we hear that certain individuals can be rehabilitated and different everything else, and I don't want to stereotype or anything. But what a world. And yeah, so Alcoholics Anonymous, for example. There you go, just stereotyped. But let's say you all have a group together, right?
Yeah.
That's an icebreaker.
Yeah.
because you're all there for the common thing. But how do you do it on something like this? Well, you're all at this meeting somewhere? What, ones that make systems do not go to these sort of things. It's usually hidden and secretive. How the fuck do you all get in a room somewhere and break the ice?
I don't think they go necessarily always together, or I don't know. So is it that, for example, Andrew enjoyed something and then he was blackmailed to give some information from business? Because
now you're falling into
he
a
was
very
that-
careful territory now, because this is where, if anything were to come to light or not, it usually happens after people pass, like another 2,000 years from now, and everyone will be having a good peek at this stuff and be like, oh, it was true, the rumor was this and this, or maybe it wasn't, maybe the times have changed or changing. You identified somebody in that, and say your thing again.
My thing again?
Yeah.
Like repeat it? Or?
Yeah.
So if he was offered some enjoyment, whatever he liked, I don't know that exactly, and then was blackmailed afterwards to give some information, different information, business or political.
Yeah. I'll take that, and I'm going to raise your stakes on that. And this is where it gets into dangerous territory, because then you've got people who are innocent in this group dynamic.
Yeah.
And then even if they were to speak about it, no one may not believe them, although it's a hell of a story. But again, what kind of a life is that? You'll be running from the exposure, won't you? And then because you were there, they'll say, well, you were there. Look, see this picture? Do you see that becomes quite a fucking hell of a minefield to even... do you understand that? Because you were there, and then it's like accessory.
Yeah.
This is why I find the whole accessory thing bullshit. It's crazy, really. And then, but again, that's enough to convict some people to be accessory based on this, and this, but yet not to do it here. And then does the law then need looking at? You see, because going forward, this feels like a ruse. It feels like people had some information on some people. They didn't know enough. Get them all together, and then because there seems to be documentation, a lot of. How do you get people like that to start talking? Right, again, so you could base it on paranoia. You could let them know that it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. No, there has to be something.
Yeah, there could be different information on different people.
Right, but then if we go back to the craze understanding, where they would take some pictures, and others would take some pictures, and a few would be seeing these pictures and be like, fucking hell. It's that way, sir. Oh. Yeah, do you...
Yeah, they compromised even the detective, just taking picture with him standing next to him, both of them.
And then, unless this is a weird initiation thing, you gotta take a picture of you being like this with this. I don't know, man. That's fucking weird. Well, look, it's so that we've all got each other's back. Then who the fuck do you trust in that will keep the pictures safe? Because he did take some pictures, didn't he, Epstein, didn't he? There's a safe.
Yeah. And some pictures are completely innocent, which they show that he's standing next to different people. Different famous people or politicians or businessmen.
It's one thing I don't understand with reporters. They're like flies around shit, no offense. They really do not let things go. They know something and they sort of hound that is it or isn't it. That's what then triggers the paranoia. The paranoia then gets going, and then this triggers the finger pointing, and then that starts to add up the data, the evidence. People start talking. Interesting. And because it's such a large group, there's too many people to try and silence one another in that, so it then defaults to it can drive you on the verge of wanted to. That was another thing that you said that there's someone tried to. That's another.
Mm.
You see, it's not enough. Perhaps there's no picture, but that is a weird response to have if
Mm.
you didn't do anything.
Yeah, yeah.
So you know something
Mm.
that is massive
Mm.
and it relates to you, perhaps, or perhaps not,
Yeah.
or perhaps it's also, again, like I said, it's a minefield. You know that no one would ever believe you if you denied or this or that. Or maybe, you see, it's never clear, cut and dry.
Or maybe you know about some pictures no one has yet seen. That's possible as well.
Is it a safe? A safe. Something. Something.
Yeah.
My, this is weird.
Something that can be different for everyone, but because
They fucking know.
Yeah.
Some of these know it, and it's big because
Yeah.
they've changed.
Yeah.
People have changed.
Yeah.
Distance in behavior is probably the next one. This feels to me that some group has designed this.
Yeah.
Very clever, yeah. There's fingerprints of intelligence on this. Not intelligence agencies as such, but there's a high level of intelligence in this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And something tipped a scale. Usually you get one and the group dynamic begins to fray. You either make a tapestry or you fray one.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Because you can remake it, can't you, if you pick it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Interesting. And it is negative, but it's also positive at the same time. I know that doesn't sound great to say that, but there's a moment that builds up and an after.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it is, then this is a hell of a tactic to use, which then it sends a very clear message to anybody else that wants to. It's when it comes to kids, isn't it?
Mm.
That's the bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the bit I can't get through that this is everyone come together. Well, I don't think that was very willing, and I think that in the moment, if people can be rehabilitated from this stuff, then there's got to be an urge. It sounds so disgusting. I hate this subject. I really do. Oh, but there's got to be that sort of an urge.
Yeah.
Only with what I've seen in other people. I mean, I don't understand it personally, but I understand it third person perspective from that person and another person, and they sort of share behavior. But these people were not known. One was, one wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
But the deck was stacked against them. They knew that was going to be again, the behavior. They had identity protected in this system. So the deck was already stacked against them. So, and good luck to your road of recovery. And so I hear some of these rehabilitation clinics are quite successful.
Yeah.
Quite successful. Large percentage.
Mm-hmm.
It's vulgar. It is, but again, it's kind of weird when we factor it into the past. This was acceptable. Now it's unacceptable. It's a weird thing that if times didn't change, would this even be a problem? That's weird, isn't it, to say that? Isn't that weird to come out with that statement? because the goalposts keep moving as they so often do. And I guess it's because the more we evolve, the more we like to say we're intelligent. So we look at things and adjust it, and look at things and adjust it. Perhaps with a lot of pushback. Where was this island?
I don't know.
Because how does the law work there? That's the bit about the island part, isn't it? Do current laws, if you go and own an island somewhere, practically you can do whatever the fuck you want, can't you? If it's your island, you become king. That's the next bit. That's another thing that does the law need looking at. There are international treaties and XYZ and everything else, but that's the weird thing about it. And again, even if you own territories, you can abuse territory. This still happens when people are in mines today, or people are working for smaller pennies, you know? Not saying that it's a good or bad thing, just sort of that still happens, right? It's somewhere else, you know? It even happens here. That's a weird sort of understanding. But when you own an island, don't you own it? So therefore, you become a government?
I don't know, Lauren.
You see, this is going to be the bit that makes it a technicality in the law. If I look at it, this will be where the law has a hard time laying it down in another territory. If there's an island, the bit that you get people on is where these people came from. Fucking hell, it gets darker and darker each time I look at it. If you own an island, you are responsible for policing it, yes? Shit me, you could murder on it, couldn't you?
I'm not sure about that.
Well, you're not exactly going to fucking extradite yourself, are you?
No, but is it really? Is there such an island that doesn't belong under some country or state or something like that? You can own it.
Yeah, because it's something that you would never think about, because you and me and everybody else are fucking muggles. You're never going to own a fucking island. You'd be lucky if you own a house these days, but whatever. If you were to own an island...
A car even, not just a house.
Yeah, but I'm grateful for what I got, don't get me wrong. I think in most of our minds it'd be great to have more. Sure, probably not this much more, but still. And not everybody that wants to get an island, I suppose, wants to do bad stuff. Some people just want to get away, I think. But I think that's where the law's going to struggle, isn't it? Because it was... And I say, well, it's international waters. Well, if you bought the island, it's like the council coming to the island and being like, you can't build that. Have you got a permit for this? I mean, no one can really... Because that's like, you know, fuck off.
Yeah.
You can't talk to us like that. We just did. We turn your ship away and fuck it off. That's terrionage. Yeah, that felt wrong. Actually, yeah, actually felt a little bit good as well. Do you get what I mean? That's like espionage on your own island, I suppose. There's that. Fucking hell, man. It's so technical, isn't it? And then where do laws stand with that? And then how many people are in power around the world that may be involved or implicated or have family members implicated in this, and then be like, bollocks, we're not going to do international law. Which then no one's going to sign an agreement. And then if it's like that, how does the law stand? Isn't it only when you come back?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you're going to need supplies, right?
Yeah.
But unless you've got a space is the next frontier. And that's why it's important to learn this shit now. How do you police that? Because if not, then it means, fuck you, get away from my ship. Why? I do what I want here. That's literally what it's gonna
Yeah.
boil down to, you know.
In space, it's even more. Yeah.
Do you see how it gets a little bit more, and it becomes harder to police because no one has done anything about this here. So therefore, it becomes that unwritten rule, the unspoken rule. And then, if you are in space, does that mean then anyone that isn't, that then you can then do things to them, and they can do things to you? Which then starts chartering the war and this, that, and the other. It gets out of hand very quickly. You would be surprised, I reckon, when I say it. A lot of life forms have annihilated one another through shit like this.
Yeah. Oh.
Power is a strange thing. You think about it, right? 1 minute you're just an everyday person, minding your own shit, doing some stuff, and then all of a sudden you get famous. Some ways you change, in some ways people change. Everybody changes in the moment, right? I've seen some people that were raw, jagged edges, and then when they hit fame, they sort of straighten up. Now I'm going to start being a bit more calmer now, and there's that before and after.
Yeah.
Some people be like, you changed. And in the grand scheme of things, that's a rather small drop in Neptune, really, isn't it? Because everybody around you now can't sit still, so it's hard to see the changes you make when everyone else has changed around you in this whole wow sort of moment. There is a before and after. It's a bit like when Mum comes. Yes, good. I'm gonna clean my ear. Yeah. Oh fuck, Mum. As a kid, I think, wow, that used to be the way it was. There was a level of fear. If Mum comes, you catch you doing anything bad, or, you know, I don't know if those things are really bad, but still, depends how excessive they are. This is an interesting one. But yeah, no, it's the icebreaker. That, well, shit me, the icebreaker fucking sunk Titanic, but this one, I can't get it to sink. This way is more plausible. I think someone has orchestrated this, but why? Now, what is that in regard for? Because they're sick and tired of this, or because they want power. And when you go to space, you'll think about it. The more power you get, what's the difference going to be? You know, power, they say, is a very addictive thing. You know, I can see it. I can see it. That's if you go into power for the wrong reasons. If it's about control, authoritarian, extreme authoritarian. I think it can be quite addictive. You don't want to let it go. Or amplify that when going to space. That's why it's important that many people, many nations go. It doesn't become impossible, but it becomes harder. If you have one go, I think that the power can really go to your head. Yeah, of course, because it will be controlling this, controlling that. Things will become a bit more easier, and resources become a little bit more. There's the right people going to space, and there is also the wrong people going to space. And the people that are too right and the people that are too wrong, if there's a separation in this, you disrupt the balance. And the balance has detrimental impacts for both sides. This is very true because although it seems like it's a shitty thing, these sort of balance one another out. So these ones don't go too far right, and these ones don't go too far wrong. There's a very fine balance. If you get one or the other, get there first, one might imprison the others. Do you see? That's always a possibility. Actually, that is like more likely than not. So it has to be done in a way where everybody sort of give the nod to everyone. and go together. And there's also, if you think that being prejudiced and stuff like today is something, fucking hell. Ooh, you can take multiple steps back. And then you might start policing it and saying, you're not worthy enough to come. You didn't jump through this. Or do this, do this, do this, do this, and you may never get a chance to go. And every time you try, they could stop you from doing. You see, then that poses more paranoia, which we're running onto something else right now, but still. Oh. That's why there needs to be variety. Because you're walking back at a time where tribal instincts will come out. You gotta have a check on that. I did it. It's all about me. It's all about me. Look what I did. I made it. I did this. I was the one that gave you this. If it weren't for me, this. Give everyone a fair opportunity and the same opportunity that you have all over the place, and let's see the difference. You know, and if none of them can do it, I mean, it's a fucking rocket. It's pretty simple, really, isn't it? Let's be realistic on that. I mean, I'm saying a lot. It's pretty simple when a lot of people get together. Pretty damn simple. Once you've seen it once, you've seen it again. It's like a fucking car. They're all gorgeous, but it's still a car. Gets you from point A to point B, but so does a fucking horse, a mule, a fucking donkey, a camel. Yeah, it still gets you from point A to point B. So, you know.
Bicycle,
yeah. It's like one star going, no, I'm a supernova, and the other one's like, yeah, but, you know, I'm a new fucking Trino, mate. Got the word new right in it. Without me, this whole universe wouldn't recycle. And Supernova's like, well, yeah, but without me, you wouldn't have a fucking shit to walk on, and all of the fucking dense shit to even make you possible. Yeah, that's... Are you ready? That's the real question it boils down to. Are you really ready? And all of this stuff, although it looks quite dark in the moment, I suppose it is, and yeah, prisons for people like that. I don't know. It's weird. It's just fucking strange. It's like seeing a horse live in a house. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the whole system needs sorting out. All of it. Prison all the way up. Prisons don't work at the best of times. Education needs sorting. There's a lot to be fixed up, and it's likely that if we all have an opportunity to do something, we can all wow the world. One human run above the rest. I just find that weird. It's taken many ancestors to get us to this point, and many leads this whole understanding of God as well. One God. I like it, I do, but one God be your version of God, one God be this version of God, one God be this version of God, and even now we've got current different understandings. Can it be one and different personalities? Kind of, yeah. Different personalities of what's above that. Yeah, my fascination is, if so many people are involved with this, if it was one or two, it would have already been released. So that number must be pushing pretty double figures. It's a lot of people. In terms of power, it's a small amount, but when we look at power stripped away from the masses, that's a big, significant number, a chunk of individuals. It's interesting. This whole thing is Fucking interesting. But there again, and if we think about that chunk and then we look at what we call people victims, I don't like that word. It's a horrible word. Survivors, that's even weird as well. People that endured, not sure. That's a big number. Who and X, Y, Z and Y and oof, bloody hell. And then it poses another question. That's one behavior type. Then another behavior type, and another behavior type, and another. So, I'm sure not everybody will ask the same questions, but eventually people will begin to ask the questions. It's just a matter of time. It's a numbers game, isn't it? Oof. And then some could say that it's over for them. Nothing is ever truly over. It just transitions into something else. It's interesting. Very interesting. And then that leaves you in a catch-22 situation. So whoever's on the fence about this also feel that something is going to be, they're very deeply disturbed by it, don't like it. I feel that. And then on the other side of it, it's where do I fit? Becomes quite a tune. Where do we fit then? I becomes we, and because people by and large are extremes. I say this a lot. You've got one side of the extreme and you've got the other. So you've got over the top, and no, people need to find the middle in these situations, because we could say fuck the system, fuck it all, people can't be trusted, but that's not actually true. Yes, okay, this stuff very bad, tip the scale a little bit. But somewhere along the line we need to be in the middle, because some of these systems work. It's not the system itself, is it? No. The system, well, it doesn't give a shit either way, does it? It's designed and it can work really good and it can work really shit. How do we make it so that it's in the middle? Yeah, it's the same way that if we, there's two ways to go to space, isn't there? There's one where a few groups go. You can already see this as disaster. Fucking hell, or which people say we don't live in an ideal world. No, it's not about living in an ideal world. It's about creating the ideal world. Fucking hell, we're far from our ancestors, right? What did it do? It fell on their laps, the ideal world. It wasn't anything but ideal. But what did they do? They've created it into an ideal world. Do you understand? They have give it their best shot. And then it asks a trimester in humanity whether they're ready for that. And I think there needs to be a lot of wisdom earned from people, that we've got to be balanced about these things. And I'm one to talk, because I've come a long way, I think. So this stuff used to really piss me off. It still does, but again, it's when you let that emotion get in the way, you can become quite enraged. So that's not a best place for you to be, because that's antagonistic, isn't it? Not good. And then you can just be too like, whatever, it is what it is. Then that allows for the default set. See, this too much or too less. Too much is not a good thing, and too less is not a good thing. There's got to be a middle ground, because the middle is where it's at. Hell with the system, or no, it's about looking at the people that are with these systems, isn't it? And then it's having the ability to tug down when they're in these systems and creating this pandemonium, and it's about getting in there very quickly to be able to stop that from buckling, which then reassures people that things. And then how do you stop a group that is designed to keep the system in harmony from becoming corrupt itself, that it just doesn't like? So do you see how this is like a catch-22,
Yeah,
whichever way you...
It is.
And then you start to look at AI and you start to debate AI. But again, how do you know someone hasn't programmed it to be abusive only to these ones, but not to these ones?
And it doesn't even have to be programmed. It just takes the view of the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is programming.
Yeah, but
it looks back
not
at history,
like
and then
planned,
it's
but-
taught that
yeah.
these people know and
Yeah.
these people yes, and
Yeah.
see, that's where humans have to come together. And I think humans are more capable of being able to work this shit out. That when you've got a right mind saying, look, we need to find the middle for these reasons.
Yeah.
Because if the system goes one way or the other, yeah, sure, you recreate a new system, but it's going to be much the same as what you've already got, and it's going to make it more susceptible to corruption because it's new. So if you have a new prototype, I can predict how that prototype is going to operate.
Yeah.
But it always surprises me. Things wear out. Oh shit, didn't think about it. Okay, all right, I don't forget it for next time when I utilize something. Oh yeah, I did make that with that one. Okay, it didn't work this way. Well, it did, but not for very long. When something's very new, it's very fragile, right?
Yeah.
And people that are designed to get corrupted with stuff are very quick. They're very quick to analyze where the weaknesses are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas this system has stood a long while. Well, okay, it's not perfect, don't get me wrong. It's got room for improvement. But a lot of the corrupted points have been, what do you call it? Tried, patched. So is the system inherently bad? No. And this whole bullshit about affordability and it will be too expensive. What a load of tosh. Nothing is expensive. Expense is a illusion that you have applied and made a belief system to say things are too expensive. That is bullshit. If you go to space and it's too expensive, that is the most bottom thinking I think I've ever seen. That's weird. That's strange. I find that very weird. When you go to grab resources, that does not become expensive. In fact, it makes all of your resources become dirt cheap because now you've got so many. It's called abundance. So it can't be expensive. And it's only a matter of time where it starts to go another way. People will start to take this into their own hands. I think rocket technologies and different things like that. There are many different ways to get to space. It's not just rockets, by the way. It's fucking thousands of different ways. Beautiful, unique, and wonderful, and mysteriously weird ways, but successful. After all, it's we often try and get things in one mindset. No, we need to find a middle ground and look at what doesn't work and ask a deep question of how we can sort this out. I guess humanity has been trying, or I think there's been the lack of it. It's when you have a rigid system. People want to keep a system exactly the same because they know how to exploit it. That's why they don't want to change it, or they don't want to plug the gaps. Because I might rely on that one day. Oh shit, hang on a minute. And then it opens the mind to a possibility that you didn't have before. Okay, well, I see this corruption over here. Oh, wait a second. If I get into this position, that benefit me. Now you've got a choice, right? Now you have a choice. Which way are you going to lean? Well, maybe I'll just shush about that, or Beetlejuice's way. Save that one for later. It is. It's we should just keep it exactly the same. Why? We might fucking later rely on that. Oh, it's weird, strange. Yeah, I think that many people going together. I think that's a good thing. No, it's not expensive. It's silly, silly thing to understand when you stare abundance. Mm. It will end poverty. That could be done within years. Water, yeah, yeah, it does. It does hit a lot. The earth makes sense. It really does. Yeah, definitely. Mm. 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 That's an internal thing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'd add a few more to it personally, but yeah. So a lot of hard questions to be asked, I think, and it's and then we've got the whole. This is the next bit that sucks, by the way. I'm going to say it exactly how it is. Can I get personal with you? Like, use you as a reference point? It's going to be deep, right? It's going to be really deep. So I'm going to make an imaginary person up in your family. Okay? Uncle Joe.
Okay.
Uncle Joe works at a school. Oh, my days. Okay, Uncle Joe works at a school and got found out to be doing some not so nice things to kids, let's say, for argument's sake.
Yeah.
And Uncle Joe is the hate of the town, and it's all going to be publicized and everything else, and shamed in a newspaper and whatnot, and goes to court and whatever, jail, and then rehabilitation and so on. Okay? To you, that might not be much, right? It was just a bad moment, but people are not hounding your family.
Yeah.
But somewhere along the line, they probably are going to look at your family maybe in the future. Who knows? I've never seen it go that way. You know, we often give, I've seen it, that predators get protection, but what about their family? These are the people that often are. Yes, I understand the victim. I fucking hate that word, but also the family are victims too. But often or not, you see, again, this is the problem with the law. We need to address the laws and structure them in a better way that works for. I don't know. Does the family get protected? Does the family change their identity? Or do we change the identity of the person to protect the family? Here's the thing. What if now your Uncle Joe, same person, imaginary, but again, works in a school and does X, Y, Z, but you're a queen?
Yeah. That's different.
Do you see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
Put it down! Or if you're in the public limelight. Well, your family is known. And that is the bit that most of us never put our feet in someone else's shoes in that moment.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh. Well, I'm a hypocrite. I say this a lot, but a hypocrite that likes to try and learn. This is a difference, but yeah, I've been this. I've said this to individuals, you know. I've been this hypocrite that's, oh my God, look at this and this. Fuck them. What does this say about you? You know, sort of. Yeah. Do you see the contrast? How do you protect that? Fragile, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you see how fragile power really is? It's so fragile. And it's not just you, is it? It's everybody in your family. And it's sort of like, well, it weren't us, but people are going to have that in the back of their head, right? When they look thinking,
Yeah, they would say, if that relative knew this one person, How do we know you didn't? Or something like that.
So again, should there be protected powers on the family that the person? I mean, but then how do you go about that? How do you punish someone in that?
I don't really know.
You see
Yeah.
the issue is that, you know, if only, you know, if this is the family, yes, and this person did something, how do you protect these? Well, you would say that we would isolate this person, give them a different identity, punish them if it needs be. But again, then someone's going to talk somewhere so that prison won't work, and then how do you then separate the prisons? Because it could get out, and then it does get out, and you're back to square one again. That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, what you need to do is teach people how to be more balanced. And no time for that. I probably want to move on to another video. Well, I'm going to leave it on this one. Fuck it, whatever. You know, Boris Johnson was cleaning out the pool using taxpayers' money, and some of the Tories were doing it. Some Labours in the past, and Lib Dems and everything else. And then they say that Andrew was going over and getting massages, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck is the royal family built on? Just curious. Is it taxes? And the government, and gentry, and they built upon taxes? Which, if we follow it back even further, is from the people, isn't it?
Yeah.
From their land.
Yeah.
Weird. And then it's like I see an article. You were reading it and said it, and then I'm just like, fuck, I can't get it out of my head. All of this shit comes because of some of the things you've been reading, and my word, it's fucking influential stuff. I really want to get on with some positive stuff. I've got a lot coming in the next few weeks, and just taking a little bit of time out. But still, I want to stamp this stuff down, because if not, it makes... I don't need to store this stuff. I can release this straight away, so... Yeah. So again, that would then tell me that then politicians and gentry, they need a better system.
Yeah.
Anyway, you want to borrow the tax money? Sure. What about give it to you as a loan? Okay then. You know, I don't know what money Andrew has. I don't really give a shit, to be honest. I do and I don't. Somewhere along the lines, it's in the middle, but still okay. And how much was this totaling? And are we in need of dentists or better structured care homes, better schools? It doesn't have to come from him directly, but the family, it would be a good move, I think. Maybe, perhaps, it could be. It's a weird system. Think of it like a crisis loan, or whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called. An advance payment sounds a little bit better, doesn't it? Yeah. Just consider this the advance payment. You'll pay it back with a little bit on top, maybe not. I think that... I don't know. I think that one's... I hear ricocheting bullets. You know, there's mist. Nope, that doesn't... That's what this country has been built on, is taxes. Every nation, I think that stands for, doesn't it? That is civilized. Taxes, pretty much.
That's true.
And again, we don't understand the lifestyle that, you know, do we know if there's any health related to that or not? This, that, and the other. But yeah, so islands and jurisdiction, and what, there must be universal law somewhere where people... Do they agree to it? Do you all have to agree to it? If there are no signatures from that island on there, does that mean everybody gets out of it? That becomes a loophole then, doesn't it? how do the courts stand on something like that?
Hmm?
And we got leaking info to America was another one, was it?
Yeah.
Businesses to Epstein, not America.
Yeah, to Epstein, yeah, and he was present and at some RAF uh, airport or whatever they are. Not airports, they are the how do you call that? An army is at RAF somewhere.
Is this a hidden base or
Yeah, base. Some bases he was present at some.
was it hidden?
I don't know that.
I'm pretty sure this stuff is common knowledge, and if it was hidden, then just move it.
Mm.
It sounds like it's not that simple to say that. It fucking is. How much territory do we have? Move the base. You've already done it. It's no. Okay, fair enough. Information, and then it shows that we can have this sort of. Again, who would it have got to? America? Could it have got to enemies? Do we even have that many left, or have we killed them all? I'm sorry, that was
Who
bad.
knows? Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
like, a business secrets, yeah.
Mm.
I mean, meh. Do we even have business secrets?
How do I know?
Sometimes of them are like flies around shit, but business secrets. If you got nothing to hide, you got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, that's
I
when
mean-
currency gets stronger, weaker, something is sold, something is planned to do this. And if someone knows what the government of some country plans, they can make a lot of money on it. Maybe something like that, but maybe something completely different. Who
So
knows?
what are government plans?
Yeah.
Are we a Western alliance or not?
Well, but it's something that's supposed to help that country and not some foreign multimillionaire, is it? Or I don't know.
Okay, you control the island and you can stop people from buying from over there. Fuck me, if you can shut down the Pirate Bay, this is easy.
I don't know, I'm just speculating. No idea what was that.
And you keep it in the Western world and don't buy from there? It's pretty simple. So again, we're looking at stuff now that we've got a breach or something happened. What would Epstein do with this information? Sell it? What could we be making a business out of that the rest of the world isn't?
Sell it, make money on it? How do I know? I have no idea.
So we need a universal copyright area then, don't we? The Western or the whole world alike?
It's not copyright, it's how something is gonna happen or
I
something.
just don't understand how a business is secret. What are we, fucking Willy Wonka?
Maybe.
I mean, the last time I checked, you plan to sell something? So why is there a secret? That doesn't make any sense. The model, the formula?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of
I
weird.
don't know how what was that.
And then copyright and patents. So these people didn't patent the information first here, or
No, I don't think it's about patents. It might be
it just
that
doesn't make any sense.
there was some agreement between maybe two companies or something, or countries or something, and if he tells somewhere else that breaks or something like that, I don't know. How do I know? How do we know?
And if it's a new company, what are the chances of another country catching up really quickly to do that?
No idea.
So it clearly shows how divided we all are, right?
Yeah.
But we call it a civilization.
Yeah.
We should call it a fracturedization. I mean, at least it'll be hitting the hammer a little bit more then.
Business works exactly on that most people don't know, and some people take advantage of that. That's how some people get more shares, and some people can afford only one or something because suddenly the shares go very expensive.
So what did he get in return for this?
I don't know.
Probably nothing.
I don't even know what was shared with Epstein or whatever.
Oh, maybe I just see it from a different perspective, and
Yeah.
maybe I do.
You can speculate, but no.
If it's going to help the world all over, I mean, I think this whole copyright thing gets in the way a lot. Or whatever, patents and shit, it really gets in the way, I think. That means nothing in the future.
Yeah, true. It meant something in times where the other parties didn't know how it worked.
Well, I think it meant something that when you're selling to another nation until they catch up.
Yeah, when they didn't catch up and saw that you have some machine that does these perfect holes and your holes are not that perfect. And
don't you think it would be great if the whole world somehow was able to make a machine that could make anything? Anything. Anyone walks up to it and press print on their imagination. By then, I imagine that you would be able to think it, and the machine would pump it out whenever you needed, and then make one of each per. Do you know the type of shit you're going to need each other when we come to destroying moons and planets and stars? How big do you think these machines are? It must be fucking little tiny. Yeah, if I squint and go that many miles backwards in space, I need a fucking telescope to see it. Oh, look, it looks like a stamp. But up close, yeah, that's going to take a lot of people. And robots, perhaps, but still. What are robots going to be? What do you want, robot? I don't think it really would want anything, would it? Energy. Like, no-brainer. Are we stating the obvious, or? More minds, more thinking, more creating, which cuts you the edge if we're judging it from Earth. You have any hostile from your perspective, life forms seem in a very small amount, if next to one. And a bigger prospect, there's more. An even bigger one, it seems even bigger. Once they've got through doing all their jibby jabby and everything else, you're left with a few, but very potent, very powerful, very well together, combining and thinking. More receivers. You have to be taught it. Again, education systems could do with a whole rehaul. Get kids really opening up their minds. Creativity at the end of the day is going to pave the way. Creativity is great for once you've devoured everything here and it's time to go. It keeps you occupied. If you ever notice that the mind can really keep you occupied. I mean, we don't have many experiments of it, but still. What, the lockdown? That's the most closest thing.
Yeah.
That's data. Sure, it's shades of grey, but again, a lot of that was people not getting stuff in time. I think is more that when you've got an abundance sitting there, I think it makes it easy for you to have a look. You're so spoiled with choice. Computers, gaming, and different things like that. And again, the demand for that to get better, which again, you get thinking. If you've got enough time after all, you get a bit more creative. Anyway, getting a little bit off topic, quite a bit. But I like to, sometimes. Anyway, I'm going to hold this one where it's at. But yeah, no, I think what this is saying is we need a whole better system. And why not? Fucking why not? In the moment that we're transforming this, we can look at these problems head on and be like, you and this and that and those and them, and I would have done it different, and this and ego and all the rest of it. It just fucking gets in the way. So noisy. No, it's screaming that we need more. There's change. I'll have you known I'm quite at home in all of this chaos. I'm not gonna lie. This is. I love this stuff. I don't like certain aspects of this, but you can often see the bigger picture in all of this. The way that it's moving forwards, and without it, actually, I can see a lot of benefits in this. Actually, yeah, a lot. Like, I don't know, Boris cleaning out his pool and a few others using them. I mean, fucking hell. I think, oh, they've got a lot of money. I don't think that's true. And I don't. Yeah, call it a loan. That's what we give loans from, isn't it? I'm sure it is. It'd be nice to have a robust tax pot that was capable of giving loans to practically anybody that needed it. Anytime. And shit me, if it really creates you a winner, then it creates everybody a winner, because you've now got a new, oh, this is pretty cool. Oh, I don't know what I would have done without this. And it all starts from that spark, that moment, that, that's what I think when these things come like this and they cause a lot of tension, I think that's what it's asking. But if it was fair, all the way across the board, who gives a shit? That seems good, As long as it was monitored not to bankrupt this or do that. But then it helps you to maneuver a system towards that type of lifestyle, doesn't it? To make it possible. Not just recycling, anything is possible. No. This system. You want it? You got it. I think it becomes quite good. Oh, I just think we've been the era of the ego. It's me. It's me. It's us. It's we. I think that needs. Yeah. Who made the telephone? Someone Bell, yeah?
Yeah.
Thomas Bell?
Graham Bell.
Graham Bell. Because imagine if he had ego. I made the telephone. Look at me. Who are you calling? Just me. Hello? I mean, it's made for sharing, isn't it? It's made for, well, people call it money. It's to do this and drive that, and not really. No, it's to better life, the quality of life, make things easier. If we removed money from the situation, that's what it would eventually be doing, but without the money, right? The arse, the debt. I'm not saying it's good, I'm not saying it's bad, it's somewhere in the middle. It's pretty cool. But we often lose the meaning, the true meaning. To make people's lives easier. It's to put a step in front of the next generation, or the next 6 steps, or however many you can get done. And at the same time, you're going to walk those steps too, and it's pretty boring if we're all up there on our own, isn't it? Interesting, but yeah, I'm going to think some more on this stuff, but yeah, that's just where I'm at the moment. It just screams that there's things need to be done, but yeah, this stuff here, how can you isolate people from a family? That's the bit. So you can see why there would ever be, if there ever was in history, the hesitancy to, in this type of scenario, and we don't understand it because we're not there. Tell me if I'm right. It would only be someone that is in this situation that would know that. I just think it. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But if this one did something in order to protect the name of everybody involved, wouldn't it just be, it seems wrong to say it, but logical just not to ever release it because of this damage that it could do?
Well, someone else releases stuff.
Yeah, but that's then what? If it doesn't get released, then you can be held over a barrel. So it's sort of like walk the plank,
Yeah.
so to speak. But that's because people don't know this lifestyle. And if you don't know it, how did you know it? Well, because I think it can be taught. You apply it to your own family, and you make it personal. You know, what would you do if you were lording it round? I mean, whatever, I'm taking the piss a little bit, but still. Are you any good at what you've done? Have you brought any goodness? Can you still be utilized to bring more goodness? You see, this can be used negative to create a barrel over these, or the same barrel can be used to create betterment from you. Because you might be saying, no, I'm not doing that. Well, I think you should do it because of this, this, and this. But that's bribery. I mean, yeah. You're called, please. Is there positive in either of those? Probably not, because it's still bribery and it's probably a hell of a thing. And the demands depends on how the demands get. But if it's going to be benefiting everybody involved, well, I don't see that being a bad bribe. Do you? Because at the end of the day, that time will pass, right?
Yeah.
And if it made you get on the steps for and helped benefit generations, next ones and these ones and these ones, and you built the steps, you have rectified your mistakes. Not this one, not this, but somewhere along the lines. It's a hell of a shit show. Well, it could cause a collapse, I suppose, maybe. I don't know. It depends on how people think. That's just it. Oh. And seeing them in a prison, likewise, I wouldn't like to see these people get seriously hurt. And they say, oh, you'll go to a prison with all these people. I don't think that should be a justice system that then starts creating injustice. Do you? Where you get put with people that are like it? I don't know about that. Because then that makes the justice system a mockery. That it's not walking what it preaches. It's trying to protect everybody involved. I mean, because that's something, isn't it? That we don't think about. And then what is the... Yes, they brought it on them, perhaps, and this, that, and the other, and there wasn't a level of thought, but what is the mindset on that? Which, yes, an act of cruelty to then create an act of cruelty is... Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I find that weird. But it doesn't sit right. Does it with you? If they were to be put into a jail where people could do that to them, and then it's like, know how it feels sort of thing. I mean, that's weird. I find that weird. I do find that fucking strange. And then that can then... That's a self-fulfilling prophecy in itself, and it's not a great one, is it? No, I don't like that. I do not like that at all. No, I hate that bit about the justice system there. If it does do that, you hear about people getting put with rapists and murderers and stuff like that, and then they're gonna be possibly beaten or raped or themselves in prison. I think that's not what justice is it? To then, it's not okay to do it here, but it is okay to do it here. I don't think that is. I think that if we want to send a message to any generations, is that we don't want that at all. Not in these places, not anywhere. Because I think that's weird. I do think that is fucking weird. Eye for an eye, isn't it? That situation. And not about easy, but structure. People still need structure. It's a weird thing, human rights, isn't it? It is strange, isn't it? Don't you think?
Yeah.
Do you think that someone that's done that should have that done to them?
No.
Maybe it's just a wives' tale and it doesn't actually happen, and certain screws might turn up.
Who knows? I don't know.
I don't know. Then that defeats the object. You may have turned a blind eye to this whole situation here. Then, in that case, yeah, I'm not making a point, am I? So if someone does something in this family here, yes,
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
and then this person then ends up going to jail,
Yeah.
and then they're subject to the very things that they may or may not have done.
Mm-hmm.
But in this scenario,
Yeah.
I don't want to put anyone
Yeah.
personal in that.
Mm.
Then they're then subject to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Do you get my point?
Yes, I do.
And then the ones that are around sort of look the other way for this one while they're there.
Mm.
Then why didn't you just everybody look the other way for them when they were?
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah, I understand
It's weird. It's fucking weird. It is, to me, this is a whole. So that's something that needs. I think it needs to be structured better. Yeah, there's a lot of issues, but it's not broken. It's very easily fixable. All of this shit is fixable. I'm interested in the outcome. Sociology, I believe, affects people's minds.
Mm.
Well, how does this affect people? You know what you do when you subject people to hatred and this, that, and the other, and all of this suppress. You know what type of behavior you're trying to push for? You're trying to push for a reaction, right?
Yeah.
If you spent half as much time pushing for a better reaction,
Mhm.
don't you think we would all be in a bit more of a happy, better, ideal world that we are striving to make that ideal world? Or nation, perhaps not world, but...
Yeah.
To try and push someone for a reaction? Weird. You know, some people push and go and go and go and go and go until they get a snap. Because that's what they're after, that snap. Which is fucked up, but you've got resources for that. That's if that even happens, but yeah. Weird. So yeah, that's sociology. Could you ever imagine that in reverse?
What do you?
Well, rather than goading in that way in a negative way, what about goading in a positive way? To get them to snap into the right direction. I mean, isn't that...
Is it even possible?
Yes.
Oh.
If you can subject someone to a force like that, intentions of getting them to snap,
Mm-hmm.
it means you're trying and putting a lot of energy into that.
Yeah.
Usually you'll be surprised. Most people will go for that. But what about if you could get them to snap in the right direction? And you mean to tell me that have you heard any data about that? Have you heard of any data of people being broken into the right direction as opposed to people being broke into the wrong direction?
No, I haven't.
But you know about people being broke and use psychology in a very negative way. I've seen it. There's a psychology place here. And people will use that as a weapon towards people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to prove it. It isn't. But whilst you believe that it is, then that's your belief. Then you stay blinded. But anyway, let's just say that I see people use that in a wrong way a lot. So you understand that the psychology is there to teach people how to become better. But there's also psychology that teaches people to destroy themselves, commit suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep grinding them down until they explode and get a reaction, and then they're ready and waiting with the camera and go, see?
Mm-hmm.
You'll be surprised. Well, key is in the wilder. So to learn psychology, should you have a psychoevaluation before you are learning that, or can anybody go and learn that? which I think anybody can, and that's a weird thing. That's anyway. Let's leave it there.
Yeah.
Yep.